Questions of Doom. Hello and welcome back to another Questions of Doom. In this series, as ever, I attempt to answer questions that you send my way using the archaeosoup@gmail.com email address, as displayed on the YouTube channel homepage, but as you'll also see at the end of this video. In answering these questions by video, it is my fond hope that the answer is not only useful to the person who has asked the question, but also anyone else out there who may be wondering the same thing. Now, today's question of doom is with regards to getting out in the field, hence the clothing I'm wearing today. I don't often get out in the field, especially now that I'm an Archaeosoup full-time type person, but I'm increasingly being invited to go and film on excavation sites, and for that purpose I need to wear the right equipment, and that's really what this question is all about. Dear Mr. Soup, I recently started an anthropology and archaeology course at university, and I am very excited. In the coming months, during reading weeks and breaks between term, it has been made clear that we are expected to casually expand our experience of archaeology and anthropology in our spare time. Obviously, this means I'll be visiting museums, reading books, and watching Indiana Jones. Haha, they say. By the summer, we're expected to have found an excavation to tag along on and get some real-world experience. When it comes to dig and safety gear, I'm not entirely happy with the steel toe-cap boots which seem to be necessary on site. Is there a more casual get-around for these boots, or am I cursed to carry moon boots around with me? Even if this is the case, it's a small price to pay to be digging. Thanks, Charlie P. And Charlie spelt with 2 E's, and I'm fairly sure that means that you are a woman or a girl or a lady. So thank you very much, Charlie, for your question. Well, first and foremost, again, it's worthwhile reiterating, I don't dig as often as I'd like to. I do get out in the field and dig, but this is usually when I haven't got other things that I need to be doing, for example, Archaeosoup or working with people that I'm working with. But occasionally as well, I am, as I say, invited out to go and film on site, and the recommendations for site visits are precisely the same as they are for builders on site, archaeologists on site. In fact, any other person who wants to be on site needs to fit into essentially an insurance remit. That is to say that they need to make themselves safe on site, visible on site, otherwise they won't be allowed on site because it'll be counter to the terms that the site is set up with. You know, you don't want to be on the wrong side of an insurance company. So that's one of the reasons why you absolutely have to have, for example, steel toe-cap boots on site. A good hard hat, high visibility jacket, ideally usually and certainly in Britain, waterproof clothing, and also suitable footwear, which are sturdy, durable, which won't let water or, for example, nails or some other horrible thing in through the bottom or in through the sides, and also steel toe caps on the front, because things will be dropped on site. People are clumsy, or indeed the things that you'll be handling, things that you'll be dealing with are often very heavy or cumbersome. So it's best to be protected, if only because actually you want to keep your toes. So Charlie, what I would say is, first of all, no, there's not really all that much of a casual get around for having steel toe cap boots on site. Certainly for most sites that I've experienced anyway, if not all of them. Now, but that said though, there are several ways of making this less of a cumbersome experience for you. The first one is to shop around, find some shoes that you're comfortable with, shoes that aren't necessarily overly heavy, but don't sacrifice on the rating of the boots. Every building site or archaeologically suitable pair of shoes comes with a series of numbers and ratings which measure essentially how resistant they are to poundage force or kilogram force being dropped, usually on the toe area. So bear that in mind. Never sacrifice or skimp on the safety of the shoe just for comfort. There are several places where you can go to buy such shoes, ranging from builders merchants to, for example, Archaeology tools websites, one of which is mentioned in the opening to my videos. But also as well, there are increasingly a range of like a strange grey area between casual clothing and actually building safe clothing, so-called on-site trainers, this kind of thing, which are becoming available, and also they're coming down in price. And this is actually what I decided to do when I replaced my work boots a couple of weeks ago. My problem was, much like yours, carrying cumbersome boots to a site, usually in my case to do some filming, and it was always cumbersome. Having to go, oh, just a second, I'll just get changed, I'll just, you know, put my shoes on, this kind of thing. So actually the workaround that I ended up going with was a pair of shoes that look and feel like, I suppose, walking boots, but actually they're very safe and secure. They have a very high rating on the underside for example, intrusion of nails. They're non-slip, they're static resistant, they do have steel toe caps, and they are fairly, for example, waterproof. Now I know that you're dying to see them, so well, I might as well take them off, I guess, or take one off at least. So there you go. This is my shoe. Yes, I should have undone the laces, really, shouldn't I? This is the shoe. It's from a company called actually Dickies, the ones that I've bought. But it was because I definitely wanted that balance between being able to wear it in most situations, and I do actually. I almost wear these like trainers, but also to have a situation where if I don't know, if I'm walking along and I see a site that I want to visit, or a site that I maybe want to cheekily ask if I can get some footage on, I've always got a suitable pair of shoes. And yes, for example, I will be taking these next time I go digging. I've been invited to a couple of excavations, but one, for example, in South Wales has caught my eye, being run by one of my old tutors at uni. So yeah, that's well, that's certainly my solution, Charlie, is a pair of site-safe, always site-safe boots, but they walk the line between being casual and being safe. Incidentally, that doesn't mean that they're particularly comfortable. These shoes aren't particularly comfortable. They do take a bit of getting used to. I'm now very used to them, but certainly around the steel toe cap area, where on each side, for example with my feet, which are quite wide, for example the little toe butts up against the outside of the steel toe cap on this side. That was a bit uncomfortable for the first few days, but I imagine it sounds like you're willing to sacrifice an element of comfort in the short term in order to get used to them, so that you don't have to carry around incredibly big boots. But this solution isn't for everyone, so do research, do look into the options, and also actually crucially ask the people on the site that you're going to be digging. They will have recommendations, they will have standards, and they will have a good idea of what you do and don't need. It may be that actually they have a very specific requirements on site, perhaps as hazardous materials or particularly hazardous terrain, which means that actually a very particular type of shoe and a more an even more comprehensive solution is required. But in this instance, this is actually a very comprehensive solution. As I say, it's a very hardy sole all the way through, and it's a very good working boot, and it's comfortable outside of work as well. So there you go, a very practical, a very pedestrian, dare I say, question today, but hopefully that has gone some way to answering your question, Charlie. And if you have any tips or thoughts on the topic of work boots for archaeological sites, or indeed work boots for on and off archaeological sites, please do comment below. I'm sure Charlie would like to hear more. Right, I'm going to head back to the office and publish this for you. Incidentally, it's actually quite a nice morning here in Wallsend, and I'm quite enjoying being in the high-vis gear. Quite a few people walking past and looking at me. It's good fun. Anyway, until next time, do take care. Bye-bye.